What happened in your office that became the stuff of legend? I worked in accounting for Precision Manufacturing, this mid-sized factory that made car parts. Pretty boring stuff. Spreadsheets and payroll. Nothing exciting ever happened, until I found something that turned the whole place upside down. It was December, cold as hell outside, and I was doing my usual quarterly audit when I spotted this weird line item on payroll. M. Horner, getting paid every 2 weeks for the past 17 years. Big money too, like senior engineer level, around 85 grand a year. Problem was, nobody named Horner worked there anymore. I checked every department, asked around, even looked through the company directory going back 5 years. Nothing. HR had no file on this person. No emergency contact, no address, no social security info. It was like a ghost was getting paid. I brought it up to my boss Linda during our weekly meeting. She barely looked up from her computer when I mentioned it. "Old system bug," she said, waving her hand like it was nothing. "Just leave it alone, James. We've got bigger fish to fry." But I couldn't let it go. $85,000 a year for 17 years? That's over $1 million just vanishing into thin air. I started pulling old payroll logs, staying late to dig through archived files in the basement. Most of the older employees had no clue who M. Horner was either. Finally, I tracked down Margaret Torres, this ex-HR manager who worked there in the early 2000s. She lived about 20 minutes away, so I drove over after work one day. When I mentioned the name M. Horner, her face went white. "You need to stop digging," she said, looking around like someone might be listening. "That man died in an elevator accident here in 2007. Horrible thing. Cables snapped. He fell 3 floors. She explained that the company quietly kept him on payroll to avoid a lawsuit from his family. They figured it was cheaper than dealing with wrongful death claims and bad publicity. But here's the crazy part. Nobody ever claimed the money. No family members, no lawyers, nothing. The checks just kept getting cut and deposited into some internal company fund. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. A dead man had been collecting paychecks for 17 years, and management knew about it. I went straight to legal the next morning. Got transferred around for hours before finally talking to someone who would listen. They launched an investigation immediately. Turns out, the money wasn't just sitting in some fund like Margaret thought. It was being rerouted into what they called an employee retention fund that nobody knew existed. This secret account was being used to pay sketchy bonuses to directors and upper management. My boss Linda, she'd been getting an extra 30 grand a year from it. When everything came out, 2 directors got fired on the spot.